All right, good evening all. It is 6:30. I'm calling the Committee of the Whole meeting for Monday, May 12th to order for the Walker City Commission. Light agenda this evening. We do have an item from the city manager on street tree planting, so I'll turn it over to the assistant city manager at that point.
Good evening. What you have in your packet is an administrative contract to install some street trees in 3 of our subdivisions. And this is something that we do on a regular basis whenever we have a good number of homes that have received their occupancy permits in new subdivisions, new site condos. We install a large group of trees. So we go through the clerk's department and do a standard bid process, and Megan puts that together for us, puts out a request for proposals, and we take the bid results. So you can see under your tabulation of bids document that S&L Landscape came in with the low bid on this project, and that will be to install 24 street trees totally, but overall they'll be split between Cambridge Grove Phase 2, Cambridge Grove Phase 3, and then Valley Site Farms. And Cambridge Grove is to the west of us here, west of Wilson on the south side of Richmond. Valley Site Farms is off of Sunset Hills in the 3rd Ward, I believe. It's right on the line there, I think, but south of Lake Michigan Drive. And the trees that are going to be planted will be a mixture of trees, so we're not getting a monoculture. But the price is very good. It's only $460 per tree, and that's installed, professionally installed with a year of fertilizer and also a year warranty on the trees. And they are property owners are given kind of a sheet on how to best manage your tree to make sure that it keeps growing, particularly in the summer droughts that we get here over the first couple of years. So this is more of an information item. You can make a motion if you like. Otherwise, you can just accept into the record the results of the tabulation of bids from the 23rd of April of this year regarding street tree plantings. Long-term program that we've had, and I go back into some of the plats that have been around for a while now, and you can see that it does have a good impact on the tree canopy. Some people want the trees, some people don't, so we try to accommodate those as well. But over time, you can see that properly placed, properly selected trees can really green up our neighborhoods, within a few years. Particularly with some of those softer maples. They grow fairly quickly. So, ongoing project, and just wanted to bring this to your attention tonight.
All right, commissioners, questions? I know I've got 1 or 2 I just want to ask our assistant city manager for, but Commissioner Groders?
Is it possible for us to send like reminder postcards to these 24 people or homeowners to say, hey, remember, how are the trees going?
We can do that. I don't think it's a bad idea to do a field check in a year because of they'll get a handout of here's what you need to do with your trees. But within the warranty period next spring, you could see that these are supposed to be planted by June 1, so it's a quick turnaround because you want to get them in before the dry season starts. We can do a field inspection and do some follow-up, particularly for the trees that may not be looking too good.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's busy and you get the information, but a little reminder might be helpful.
I will do that for you.
Kind of like item number 7 there. Like taking that reminder on the on Megan's memo. I think it's page 6 of the packet. Also, it's basically, but I think that's a point of taking executive and doing it a year from now as a follow-up item. I think would be good for us.
Kind of like a dentist appointment
Reminder.
You have an eye appointment.
Commissioners, other questions?
No. I was impressed with the price.
That's pretty good. We haven't seen prices like that for some time.
Yeah.
And you see the next bid up is from Twin Lakes that we've used before, and they're close too. ProCare was more than double. So we had been seeing prices per tree $600-700 more. And these, the specifications are written in the bid that, these are to be top quality trees, 2.5-inch caliper, so they're not going to be sticks that go in the ground. There's some good standards to it, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with that price.
Especially the maturity of the tree or that sapling.
Yeah, 2.5 inches is a good sized tree. It's probably be 8 feet tall, and
Absolutely.
you know.
Did they have to, in that bid request, did they have to submit any reference request?
I don't believe we received any references, but I know Megan does follow up on all these companies to make sure that they're legit. So I don't believe we received any references.
I think that's my only, so my two questions. One, you have two local and one from clearly outside the West Michigan area.
Yep.
So that's one where I'm a little bit leery of it. Acknowledging it's not a significant project, it's 24 trees, it's $11,000 of the taxpayers' money that we're responsible for. With that being, so it's out of the area, so I'm curious on the reference piece. Sounds like that's not the case. The second is discrepancy. How did the one end up at 23,000 versus, when I see two here and one way up here?
And that's a good question. The bid specifications are the same. So you would expect each one to be following that bid specification. And sometimes we see bids that are non-bids. They'll bid high because they really don't want to do the project, but they want to at least get their name out there.
Don't have time for it too, but they'll still put in for it too.
Yeah.
Just so they're on the next list for
Yep.
something.
Yeah.
Yep. Know that game?
And the one thing I forgot to say is that the money for these doesn't come out of the city's general fund. The developers submit funds based on an estimate into a street tree escrow account. So they are, I'm sure that gets handed on to the people who live in the plat or the site condo. But we made sure that becomes part of the approval process for any subdivision that goes in. And, we'll target between $450 and $500 per tree. Most of the time, that's enough. If we run short at the end, then in the last phase, we try and catch up there. So this is actually not general fund money, if that helps you make your decision. And this SNL may have some local contact. I know they're out of Shelby Township, but they may have a local nursery that they're going to work with. Instead of shipping them all the way over from Shelby too, there's quite a cost in doing that.
I'm probably gonna be a no on it when we get to 7 o'clock. For them, I'd prefer to award it to a local company who's within a few $100s of, because we've used them before, we know them, and Twin Lakes has got a great reputation. I don't have any personal connection there or anything. This place doesn't have a website that I can find, or some of us could find. And I apologize traveling this past week, so I'm just catching up this afternoon on tonight's stuff for the meeting. But not having the website, not having references, just awarding it to them. I don't know if I want to have any potential egg on the city's face. What the background, who are the owners? Are they bonded? Are they not? I don't know. So I don't know if commissioners, if anybody have any additional thoughts?
Would it be worth tabling for further consideration and review of the
I don't know if we
bidders?
can though, because they gotta have it planted by June 1.
Yeah.
If you're concerned
Because-
about some things, then those can be findings against the low bid. And the Twin Lakes is
400.
$410. So, I think there's some logic in trying to go with someone we worked before. I know we worked at Twin Lakes before to have these trees installed, and I can't remember any problems either.
I will say I like SNL just because they have 4 different kinds of trees they're planting instead of just 2.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Commissioners, other discussions on this? We've got some time till 7 o'clock, so.
I guess I like the idea of 4 different kinds of trees, just so you don't lose half of your trees to one virus.
Good point. Okay. Others? Commissioner Babcock, Commissioner DeShane?
I could go either way. I like the fact that there are 4 different trees, like to Commissioner Groder's point, but I like the fact of using someone local as well to kind of give back to the local businesses. So I'm on the fence.
Okay. You know, Frank, I think on that topic of the 4 different selections, when you look at, you know, the Red Sunset Maple, the Celebration Maple, hardy ones, is there a plus to looking at the other 2?
Well, we did have all 4 noted as a combo in the RFP. So on page 1 of the contract,
You said that was clearly spelled out, but Twin Lake only submitted
yeah,
2.
2, yeah. You know, Autumn Blaze and Red Sunset Maples are very similar. They're used in a lot of park districts because they show a lot of color in the fall, they're disease resistant, and they grow quickly. And if you get top quality ones that are properly pruned, they grow straight too. So those are essentially, they're very close. Norway maple is more of an old school cultivated maple. A lot of people don't like them because they're non-native. The Autumn Blaze and Red Sunset are derivatives of native red maples, bred more for color. Norway maples are very hardy, very disease resistant, and they're all over the city. They're all over just about everywhere. Crimson King is one of the, I believe that's the more purple leafed one.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you know, they're not as hardy. They're more showy. They get very wide. So this is where site selection for these trees comes in. On a corner lot, they're probably going to be okay in the right of way. And they're on our approved list too. It wouldn't be my first choice for a street tree. Probably good for a front yard tree where you have enough room, and that's where you see most of them.
And this is the Crimson, right, the King?
Crimson King.
Yep.
Yeah. So, you know, there's a nice split. They're all maples. So, you know, when we did, I don't want to go too far off track, but just to give you a little bit of history, when we did Sunset Hills number 4, we actually used 3 completely different species of trees. And it doesn't, I mean, they've grown in very well, and they were, one was a linden, one was a red sunset maple, and I can't remember the third. It might have been tulip poplar. So that's a true split of species. And they're all under the maple genus, right? Acer. But they all have their individual characteristics. These are all bred trees. You know, they're not native trees that you pull out of the ground and then replant. So yeah, there's a little bit more information for you. But we're willing to go with whatever you want to go with. And if you want to go with the next bid up, we certainly do that on many projects. And here for $410, it's really not that big of a split. And I think you've developed some findings if you want to go that route about S&L, why you may not be comfortable with going there.
So with Twin Lakes, since we've used them before, do we have like you know, do we have any fallout with their trees? Have their trees been hardy? Have we had problems with their trees, or is there a higher percentage of, you know, failing?
No, I would say that we've only had one problem over the years, and it was in Cambridge Grove, and it might have been phase 2A. I know at the time Dan wanted to experiment with some pear trees, and those didn't do well.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, and now we certainly, you know, pears have fallen out of favor. It's 10 years later because they're brittle. Any windstorm, you'll see one. Well, during a big downdraft storm in Coopersville, the neighbor's pear tree would have pierced my house because it got snapped off, but it got caught in one of the arborvitaes. So they snapped, they're brittle. So we wouldn't do those, and they're a little bit temperamental. That's the only problem I've heard. I haven't heard of anything that Twin Lakes has done for us over the years.
Okay, thank you.
All right, commissioners, any other discussion on that one?
will admit, I cannot find it. I know
Yeah.
I just, it's one thing if they're local. I'm going to respect where everybody else lands on this. I struggle completely other side of the state company that we don't know, doesn't have a website in 2025. I mean, any type of presence, and we don't have references. And I think that would be probably something just an ask in the future. And I know it's got a double-edged sword when staff submits those things. When we have the references, you're going to always give your best ones. I get that. That's the game that sales organizations play. But at least it's something to hang your hat on and say, hey, here's some people that have used our services, bought our products, and they'll vouch for us. Right now, I don't have anybody that can vouch for them.
I mean, if I could have found them, I would have.
Yeah.
I would have gone.
I'm kind of thinking
I
the same
prefer
thing.
four-
It's,
four
yeah.
trees to two kinds of trees, but I can't find it.
And knowing that we're in that, the shot clock is on for the planning,
Yeah,
everything you have to get done,
yeah.
so. But, and I just, in terms, if they're coming from the other side of the state, there's got to, either there's a project over here they're working on, which is possible, or not. And they're paying, the cost of delivering 24 trees, decent-sized trees at 2.5 inch, these aren't small ones. Coming over here, there's a cost with that. It's not a small truck they're bringing over with them. So I just, I don't know. I don't know. Any other discussion on the trees? We know we need them. We're going to approve something tonight. Just not sure what then. Okay. All right, staying down there, city manager, assistant city manager, anything else, Mr. Wash, on your list right now?
We will follow your direction, and we can always alter that contract and go with Twin Lakes if that's the way the vote comes down.
Okay. Perfect, thank you. Mr. City Manager.
Just a couple things. I had a very productive finance meeting last week on the 7th in the morning, so that was really good, and we'll be forwarding you the final draft of the budget to the City Commission at the June 9th meeting. There'll be public hearing and hopefully adoption. Dan will be there to go through his abbreviated presentation, and then certainly answer any questions any of us can at that meeting. But yeah, very productive meeting, and thanks to the committee for that. And just a couple updates on the May 19th meeting. We'll be having the budget amendments that were recommended approval at the Finance Committee for consideration at that meeting. And then the library will also be here for an update, give you an update on what's going on at the library between the architect, the builder, and site. I don't know if the site superintendent will be here or not, but yeah, you'll get a good picture of the overview out there. If you can see today, the first brick wall is finally starting to go up and ready to pour the last section of the basement wall. So things are going well there, but I think Pat and I forget who else will be here. Adam, I think, from OAK, give you an update of how things are going over there, which is really good. So other than that, that's it.
All right, Commissioner Burke. Commissioner DeShane.
Yes, last week, Tuesday, I had two meetings back to back. I had a community engagement meeting where we were talking about our upcoming events, which will be the mayor's reading incentive. We're going to be handing out backpacks in the next couple weeks to the young elementary students, third graders at Zinser and Central. And then I had a youth commission meeting, and Senator Mark Huizinga spoke, and it was wonderful. That was great. He did a very fantastic job.
Formerly the Youth Commission.
Oh,
It's our academy.
I'm so
It's our academy.
sorry.
Thank you. Okay.
I am so sorry. Oh, hey, when I was on it, that's what we
It's
called
only
it. But
$20 in the pot, yeah.
there we go. Oh, is that a swear word? I'm sorry. And then, let's see, where they learned all about how much a state budget was. That was quite eye-opening to everybody. And then on Wednesday, I had the Finance Committee meeting, which Daryl already spoke about. Lots going on.
Awesome. Thank you. Commissioner Chase.
Last week Wednesday, I attended the employee appreciation lunch, so it's great to see everyone all there and thank them for their time as employees.
Good enough. Commissioner Groders. Commissioner Babcock.
We just had a personnel committee meeting, just went over some policy updates ESTA stuff and nothing really major. So it's a good meeting.
Commissioner Gilbert?
Nothing to add?
Madam Clerk? Wow, okay. Employee recognition lunch was awesome. I mean, just as always, I just very well organized. Hats off Shannon, Kevin, the team. Daryl made sure that, we were all taken care of back there, but good to see the faces and stuff, and just a nice presentation back there as well, getting to talk with everybody. Let's see, the reason I pick on that is joke about the youth commission piece was having Senator Heisinger here, and I want to compliment our city staff too, because that was our last one of the mayor of the academy, the youth academy for the year. The teaching that our staff did, that the senator did, was was not the way that the youth commission used to function, and the whole point in changing this to the way that it was to give it that there's a curriculum, not just for the youth academy, but the next gen academy, which is the adults, and which is a super strong cohort. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some elected officials in the future come out of that group at some point. So, but I love the fact, and I would be remiss if I did not recognize. Go down the list of police, fire, public works, planning, engineering, senator coming in. It was a little bit of an abbreviated year. We were supposed to have their last meeting at the end of May. It happened to be graduation night. That was on the schedule. And in the interests of, out of an abundance of caution, because we didn't think we might have any kids here that night, that was a big graduation night for the group. So just hats off to the staff, just doing a great job. And Emily did awesome throughout the year organizing and keeping us on track. So, and then the only other thing I have was we had, it's always the first Thursday of every May, we had National Day of Prayer in here. Little decent turnout. There were some takeaways on just, this is on my shoulders, just running last minute, not as being organized with that as we have in years past, and would like to see more people in the seats. And we still had a decent turnout, and I appreciate the pastors coming. We had two of our public safety chaplains that actually spoke, along with myself. It was just a good turnout. It's really, again, the grounded roots that we have in our community here was on display that day. So. Outside of that, I don't have anything else. Commissioner Babcock and I will be gone the June 9th meeting, separate states for different reasons. You're going to be here. I'll be elsewhere. But we're both gone, so we will have 5 of you here for that night. That will be that budget approval night, so just FYI. And we might have 4 here that night. Just saying. So we'll see how that goes. All right, outside of that, we have about 5 minutes all. Let's take a quick break for anybody that needs it. The last thing, Resolution 25-762, appointment to the Zoning Board of Appeals is an alternate position. This is the second one. We're allowed up to 2 alternate positions. And where these will come in handy is, this is, for the ZBA, it's different, say, the Planning Commission, Community Engagement, some of the others. With this being a statutory committee, making legal binding decisions, we really have to, as life happens, people can't make it to the meetings and so forth at times, that you actually have, we have those alternates, and they will be attending every meeting. We recently approved one. This is number 2. This is a former assistant superintendent at Kennel Hill School, Mike Birdie, that a couple of us have gotten to know over the years, just working, coaching at the high school and stuff, and had some passing with them. Lives up in the Bristol Ridge neighborhood area, and he is now an assistant superintendent over at Wyoming Public Schools. So feel like he brings a bit of a background that should help with the ZBA, so that is the ask of the commission to approve that appointment. I did have lunch with Mr. Birdie back a couple of months ago, and then we're finally getting around to getting him on the agenda as an alternate for now. So, and I would suspect there's probably going to be a resignation fairly soon, just family work, family life commitments with one, so one of those alternates can slide down, and then somebody can come on as an alternate from there in the near future. So that way our meetings are able to be held, because we've had a situation in borderline 2 others where we've not been able to hold a ZBA meeting because we didn't have enough people up here, and we can't, for zoning board, you can't have that. So all right, I am showing 7 o'clock on the nose. Sweet. All right. It is Monday, May 12th at 7 o'clock p.m. This is the City Commission meeting for the City of Walker. I would like to invite Commissioner Babcock to deliver the invocation this evening and lead us in Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Lord, we come to you today to seek your guidance on all decisions we make, that they may be made with purpose and in the best interest of our community as a whole. We are so grateful for the beautiful weather that you've provided recently and are reminded of your glory each day as we take in the beauty of our city. In this Mother's Day season, we are thankful for all the moms who are unsung heroes every single day. Please continue to protect and bless our city staff, first responders, and everyone else who works tirelessly to take care of the City of Walker. Lord, we come to you with all these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. I'd like to invite everybody to stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. If I could please ask the clerk to call the roll.
Mayor Carey.
Present.
Commissioner Gilbert. Present. Commissioner Babcock. Present. Commissioner Groders.
Present?
Commissioner Chase. Present. Commissioner DeShane.
Present?
Commissioner Burke.
Present.
All right, thank you all. Next on the list, is there any discussion on the April 28, 2025 City Commission meeting minutes? Seeing, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval and support, please.
I'll make a motion.
Commissioner DeShane?
Support.
Commissioner Groders? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, minutes are passed. Next on the list is public comment on agenda items. Is there any public comment on agenda items? Okay. Welcome, by the way. Next on the list is reports from the city manager. We discussed at our 6:30 committee of the whole meeting, the street tree planning and the bid award, let me make sure I get it right, to S&L Landscaping out of Shelby Township. We had some discussion around that, around some different things. I guess just from the commission standpoint, I've shared my thoughts on it. I'll respect where everybody else is at. I understand the diversity of the 4 different trees versus the 2, respect that. I'm just a little gun shy myself with an out-of-town company that doesn't have a website and we don't have references on. So I'll be a respectful no on it. But if there is support, I'll respect that and entertain a motion for approval and support.
Mayor, do we need a yes or no on it? Can't we just make a motion to pick Twin Lakes? There's really no motion coming.
We could, yes, we could. We could. But we have paperwork drawn up. I think comfortable with us making a motion to award it to Twin Lakes.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, with approval and support.
Motion to approve the award to Twin Lakes.
Okay,
Support.
So I have a motion and support. Before I ask for the votes, is there any other discussion on this? Okay, cool. Thank you, Commissioner Burke. It was Commissioner Chase, I think was the, all right, so we have motion for Commissioner Burke, support for Commissioner Chase. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, and this is for the award, that was for the awarding to Twin Lakes Nursery, who was very close, 400, I can't remember the exact amount, within a few $100s from the award. Thank you, Commissioner Burke. Consent agenda, any questions on the bills for the week? I'll entertain a motion for approval and then support for expenditures in the amount of $772,237.74.
So moved.
Commissioner Gilbert?
Support.
Commissioner Babcock. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, thank you all. Next on the list is Resolution 25-762, appointment to the Zoning Board of Appeals. Mike Birdie from the Bristol Ridge neighborhood. I shared a little bit of background on Mr. Birdie, and some on the elected body up here have gotten to meet him over the years in his role as a former assistant superintendent at Kennewood Hills. Is there any other discussion or questions on said appointment? Seeing, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval and support, please.
So moved.
Commissioner DeShane.
Support.
Commissioner Babcock. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Thank you all. Next is other public comment, agenda or non-agenda items. You're sure? Okay. All right. Next on the list is Commissioner and City Manager comments. I'll go around the horn one more time. Madam Clerk? Commissioner, Doctor. Okay. All right, we are good to go. Call out next meeting, May 19th, next Monday night here. And then the next meeting after that is June 9th, and there will be 2 of us absent from that meeting. I'll entertain a motion for approval and support for adjournment, please. Commissioner Gilbert, Commissioner Groders, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? We stand adjourned. Thank you.
Can you somehow do due diligence on every,